Lock in, believe me, folks. Anybody has our snow cover, likely to hold on to it for quite a while.
That's right, and again, even across the south, some folks might see a little dusting of white powder for Christmas.
Right, a little more than a dusting in some areas, Janine. We're going to touch base with a few cities now. First of all, in New York today, fortunately nobody injured, but a jumbo jet, a 747, skidded off the runway at Kennedy International Airport. There were 441 people on board. Thankfully, no injuries, and the Tower Airlines spokesperson suspecting the cause may have been an icy runway. We'll get more details on this as they become available. It occurred, by the way, at about 11:30 this morning. In Massachusetts, up at Logan International Airport, the roadway, or the airport, I should say, was shut at about 8 o'clock last night and it stayed shut much of the morning. Now, if you know Logan, it's right there in the harbor, and those big waves crashing into the seawall there, just a nasty scenario. And how about Situate, Mass, a little farther down the coast? Down on the South Shore, major wave action coming on in. A lot of onshore flow, coastal flooding, a lot of snow fell as well, upwards of 8 to 10 inches on the South Shore. But there's a churned up, nasty ocean out there. Actually, that's a big part of Cape Cod Bay. And finally, let's go to Cleveland. And even though it may have been nasty, that guy, you know, the mailman, he was up to his appointed task. This guy wasn't so lucky, as you can see, a lot of folks off the road. And by the way, today, this guy probably made lots of cash as we had more snow, a lot of lake effect snows over in Geauga and Ashtabula and Lake counties, a little bit to the east of the Cleveland area. So once again, our snow continues east of Cleveland. There's a lot of snow in New England. We'll talk about that in a minute. How about what happened 9 years ago today? This was primarily a rain event, an Alberta Clipper coming down from Canada, intensifying off the coast, and look at that, 2.5 feet of snow in Vermont. Couple of feet in the Berkshires of western Mass, and heavy rain and flooding and high winds causing power outages in parts of Massachusetts and on the New Hampshire coast. This go around, mainly a snow event. We did have freezing rain in Washington. It was very, very icy north of Washington, up in Baltimore. Quite a bit of sleet fell here as well. North of our Mason-Dixon line, we more or less got into a snow scenario. And look at that, Interstate 80 corridor, North Jersey, southern New York around Harriman State Park and parts of Connecticut. Very heavy snow. We had reports of about 13.5 inches of snow in Meriden, Connecticut. New York at LaGuardia Airport, 14 inches. Islip 11 on the island. White Plains 10. Yonkers 10. In Jersey, 9 at Newark and 8 at Hasbrook Heights. And Bridgeport picking up around 9 inches as well. Let's show you now what's happening as far as there's our snow history again. How about that actual satellite picture? You can see there's still low pressure out here. It's not that evident on the satellite picture. It's right about here in the Gulf of Maine. Now, there's a great big low, more or less kind of sucking that low on in, and it's going to basically cause it to meander rather aimlessly up here. The net result, some of that moisture in the Maritimes will get flung all the way around that low back into the Adirondacks of New York and Vermont, New Hampshire's greens and whites. And over in Maine, I think that snow is going to keep on keeping on. Boston may see another inch. And the lower Hudson Valley and over eastern Long Island, you may see another inch or so as well. A snow advisory continues in Suffolk County. There's your snow, hopefully winding down around New York. There's your snow off of Lake Erie into Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And around Boston, still some snow. Fairly steady from Boston down to Situate, down to Plymouth, and right on over the Cape. Some rain mixed in out by the Chatham area. And there's your snow in New York and Bergen County down to about Raritan Bay. That is all dropping slowly on to the southeast. Over the southeast, a lot of cold high pressure. The high today, about 41 in Atlanta.